with me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that the people that I expected to have been there for me, man, wasn't there. This is one thing I want the people to know too. You roll around, you claim, and hey, to each his own. You know what I mean? You can bang, you can do what you want to do. I know how y'all love it. It's a family, it's an extended family. But 9 times out of 10, man, be your homies don't even be there for you. You feel me? Or you're no longer an asset to them. You can't help their pockets. You can't help them further, whatever it is they trying to do. You feel me? I was in a position where my grandpa told me this. He said, let me tell you something. I said, man, grandpa, man, ain't nobody here doing nothing for me. He said, well, who was doing everything for everybody when you was out here? I said, I was looking out for everybody. He said, all right then. How you expect them to look out for you? You feel me? So 9 times out of 10, man, your homies leave you, your woman leave you. Going to prison, man, is not worth the risk. Ain't worth the reward, man. It ain't no money out here because I'm still connected. I know what's going on. I'm not active, but I know exactly what's going on in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no money out here. And when I go around and I get my little talk, I say, man, why are you throwing bricks at the penitentiary? You know everything in the feds costs, even to wash your clothes? Unless you want to send them up there and you want everything to turn brown. You feel me? But like I said, man, my mom, she fell into her addiction, you know what I'm saying? And but she was the only one there when the smoke cleared. Her, my sister, and my 2 daughters, man. When my 2 daughters turned 18, well, they wrote me my whole bid. But when they turned 18, was able to get in traffic and come to Pollock and Coleman and yo, that was like something different. That was something different. And my thing, man, I know that I was doing the right thing. I didn't burn no bridges out here because I helped everybody. I helped my family. But a lot of these dudes burn these bridges down, and that's why you ain't got nobody when you in there, and it's going to be a hard bid. But that was one of the hardest things for me to deal with, Chad. My babies had babies. I'm a grandfather. I didn't see them start kindergarten because, listen, before I caught my Fed bid, I did 4 years in the state. I came home for 17 months and caught 360 months. I left when my daughters was 2 and 3. I came home, they was 5 and 6. When I left again, they was 7 and 8. I came home, they was in their 30s, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't see them start kindergarten, graduate college, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that really ate me up in there, man.
Best years of your life, man. Half of your 20s, all of your 30s, some of your
Yeah,
40s, right?
yeah, yeah. Some of my 40s, I came home, I'm 51 now, and I came home 46.
Went in there at 25 and came home at 46.
Yeah.
Man, unbelievable. I know you talked a little bit about McCrary, right? And I mentioned that I think they just had a murder over there. I think that's where it was at. You catch a bid in McCrary. What happens in McCrary?
So we get the McCurry and we set in the tempo. You know what I'm saying? We train, you know what we training the police. We letting them know, like, we from the penitentiary. This is how it's gonna go, because they knew. You know what I'm saying? So we training them. Everything is good. Now the pound is open after like a year. The pound is open. It's turned into USP McCurry. It's a yellow side and a blue side.
Let me stop because people are thinking the prisoners are, did they hear that right? The prisoners are teaching the cops how to run a prison, right?
Yeah, we got to teach them how to run the prison, because if we don't, then they're going to run it any old kind of way and it's going to be a muck. So we got to set the tempo. We got to let them know this is the way we're doing our time. We're here doing our time. You're working. We're going to take things out this kitchen every now and then. We ain't going to hurt you, right? And I know it's your job to catch it. I ain't saying we just told them we was doing whatever we want to do. No, we let them know what we was doing, because the easiest thing to do is line it up. So that way, it's not a big thing when they catch, oh, well, what you got, onions? No, every now and then we going to, but McCurry didn't have no microwave stuff, but we still was taking onions for our hookup, tuna fish stuff. But you gotta train them, man. You gotta get them. How y'all carrying it today? How you want your unit ran? Oh, I don't want nobody from other units in our unit. This, that, and all right. You know, you find out how the cop want to run his unit. You pull all the good men together. Who's the head of these cars? Look, this is what, you know, they change every quarter. You got to break every one of them in. This is how he want to run it. He don't want us to have no company. If one of the homies is drunk, keep him in the cell. The lieutenant come around, woo, 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 tattooing. He don't want nobody tattooing, doing what, you know, however they do it. Oh, if I work in the daytime, I don't want y'all tattooing. If I'm on at night, y'all can, you know, and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just got to break them in, man. You got to get them to where you could do your time comfortable, man. What you don't want in our cells. And that way, when you get an understanding and they see that you like a good man and you looking out for, because the lieutenant is their boss ultimately, so you don't want them, They just want to look good for their boss. As long as you showing them that, they pretty much let you do what you want to do in the unit. You feel me? So that's what I mean when I say we was breaking them in. You know what I'm saying? So letting them know how we gonna do our time. What do you expect from us though? Oh, I want y'all bed, I want y'all rooms immaculate, boom, boom, boom. Cool, we gonna do all of that. But stay out of our rooms though, please. Or if you do go in there, we doing time, man. If you stumble across something, if it ain't a knife, if it ain't some wine or something, leave it alone, man. Every now and then you might find a dude with a remote in his room. Leave it alone, man. We all in here together. We ain't gonna kill each other here. We ain't gonna make you look bad. Basically, how we break them in. You know what I'm saying? I heard you the other day. Brother was asking you how we getting our tattoos done, and when you said it, I said it at the same time. I said a guitar string. My wife was like, "Wow."
Crazy, right?
Yeah, man. We go through some crazy things, man. But we just trying to make a life. Prison is a world within a world, man. You got different rules. Out here, you know, you can duck, hide behind tent in your car from your ops in there. So I put this in my post all the time. If you a man, you got to face your op. Ain't nowhere to hide. Ain't no tent. We got 10-minute moves. You got to get where you going or go hit that red door and go somewhere else and try it all over again because ain't nowhere to hide here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what it is. Nowhere to hide. So you catch another case in McCrary. What happens?
All right. So what happened is we on our renegade Muslim stuff, and we moving a little bit of some stuff that we shouldn't be moving. And a boy ended up owing some money, and this is little money. So I can tell you, you see in prison is principle, it's moral. You can't play nobody. This $200 right here I'm talking about. But are you trying to play us for this? And in there, everybody, you think everybody's trying to play, and you can't let nothing like that go because it's gonna ride with you everywhere you go, and you can't get no money. You know what I'm saying? So the homie that was orchestrating it, you know, I ain't gonna say no names or whatever, but he only had like 8 years to go home. So the bull who did it was on the yellow side. If you don't know nothing about the new penitentiaries, this is for dudes, the Chad, you know, they separate them with the yard. You on one side, they on the other side. You might see each other in the mess hall, maybe see each other mess hall. You're not going to wreck together in school area, law library or something. You can see your homie. So in the morning when you go out for the 6 o'clock rec move, you got on grays. You don't have your color on. So I went out on the rec move. I'm on the blue side. I go out on the rec move and with my grays on, and I go over to the yellow side door and go down the yellow side to the dude's unit. He was on 3A somewhere, 2A. I go down to his unit, go up in his room, and I grab him out his bunk. I got a half a scissor, but his celly, so I'm working him. So his celly up on the top bunk. First of all, when I came in, the celly jumped up. I said, lay down. He laid down, man. Like, that pissed me off so much. And it wasn't the dude that I worked, Chad. It was his celly. On the way out, I hit him 3 times for just being a chump. Boom, boom, boom. So this chump pressed charges on me. I hit the boy 11 times. He ain't pressed charges on me. I hit the celly 3 times, Choker pressed charges on me, and that's how I ended up catching that last 6 years. I think I caught like 6.5 years off of that. Little, you know what I mean?
Jihad, I don't think I might have been somewhere with you. I don't want people to think that I was with you in these places. Maybe, but we'll talk about that. But I know who you are, man. It dawned on me now as we're talking that I know who you are. When you hit the kid, did he try to fight back?
He didn't. He was kicking. You know how they do. He was on the top bunk. So when I grabbed him, he kicked me good in my face. But I bust him like in his stomach. You know what I mean? He had got kind of messed up because they put him on a bag. So, you know, you know what I mean? And he wasn't fighting back. He was a chump, to tell you the truth.
Where was he from? I'm curious.
This dude was from Kentucky.
Black dude?
Yeah, he was a black dude.
You know, I know that you push, you know, your agenda and your people, man, and you're for your people, right? And I know earlier you said you're not racist or nothing like that.
None of that.
And, you know, I want this to come across how it is. You know what I mean? And people should know that I've helped more black people, and you know this. I've helped more black people get out of prison than any other race, right? My best friend is Cedric Dean, man. Cedric did 25 years. You might have been with Cedric out of Charlotte, different places. He's been all over. But what's it like when you're living in that prison environment, man, and you have to do something to, let's just say, your own people? Don't it hurt you inside later on? Like, damn, man,
You,
over
you, you know,
$200 and the disrespect. This man made me stab him because really, it's not the 200; it's the principle. You're disrespecting us. Like, if you're getting this, have the money. Take care of what you got to take care of.
yeah. Every time I had to do something to somebody of my own color, it always touched me. And I used to tell my mom, like my mom know everything I did in prison. A lot of times, they got to call. My mom used to call. I said, "Mom, if I because I've been in some spots where them police will kill you. You get in that shoe, they'll kill you." You know what I'm saying? So I used to tell my mom, "If you don't hear from me every Sunday, call the prison." You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I'm good. But I used to tell her everything, you know what I mean, so that she was aware of what was going on with me in there. She couldn't believe half of the stuff, but I used to tell her, she used to be like, "Yo, why would you hurt your own kind?" I said, "Mom, it's crazy that it's your own kind that disrespect you more. It's your own people that run the flim flam on you. Other races, straight up. You know why? Because they know where it's going. Your own kind want to play the game and think that ain't nothing gonna happen to them, probably because they're your own kind. But we in an environment where I can't let it go, even if I wanted to let it go. Because why? Unfortunately, man, all you got in prison is who you are and what you stand on. And I can't let you beat me and it get around the prisons. You ain't doing that to John. Oh, I was down John with John, took 200 from him. Absolutely not. And that's a shame that it got to be like that, or you end up having to kill somebody because this is like mindless. It's like a mindless uh, a way for you to have clout. Like it's mindless. You feel me? And it really don't mean nothing. Nothing in prison mean. I ain't gonna say nothing in prison mean. Everything in there is serious. I'm just saying now that I'm free and I look back, what my wife tell me? She be like, "Yo, that shit traumatized you. Like you traumatized. Like listen to the way you talk to people. You talk to men with no respect. You know what I'm saying? Like you just rough. That stuff did something to you. Being around them 2,000 men, being in that atmosphere, because it's barbaric. We living in a bathroom with another man. That's barbaric. Everybody can't do it. And you've seen it yourself. You see how pill line got through the years? Everybody on psychiatric med trying to deal with that time. It's rough. You know what I'm saying? And some of us I was one that said, I never thought I was going to do all my time. I did the majority of it because I know you got to do 25 on 30. I did 20 years, 8 months. But I never felt that I was gonna do all the time. And then when I used to get places who like, "Yo, man, it's a sweet joint. You home when you want to leave." I don't do more than 3 years nowhere. Like I'm getting out of here, front door or back door. And they know that every time, I got to get a captain's review every jail I go to. For those that don't know, a lot of things, and not even glorify this stuff again, but a lot of things that you go through in federal prison and you do things to people. They put you in the shoe as soon as you hit the shoe is locked up. They put you in there as soon as you hit the compound for a captain's review. They play the good cop, bad cop, lieutenant, and captain. They're going to let you on a pound with what they expect of you. So I get my little captain's review and I tell them, "Look, Cap, I need to be out of here in about 18 months clear. I'm going to stay clear or I'm going to go out your back door. I need to get out of here. I'm from, Jersey and I want to be close to my family. Or give us 18 months clear. Sometimes they don't. So, but me, I never know who I like to get. I like to get them thieves and them bullies. That's who I really like to get. You know what I'm saying? If I do have to leave. But the majority of the time, man, as I got older and start getting into my stuff, start studying, knowing what I wanted to do when I got out here, my daughter was like, "Dad, they coming out with this social media. When you get out here, Dad, you could start telling your story, start helping people, start letting them understand what's going on in the prisons, start letting them, start teaching them a little bit of the law so they know what they're facing." So I start saying, I start buckling down like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. It took me a minute to really get my equipment together. And, because unfortunately, man, a good guy, a good man, he got to scrape his ass and knuckles out here to get anything he want. A rat, he get to come home and they take good care of him. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I was able to get my equipment together. I got a nice studio, man, and I jumps on him. My thing is like, my audience is growing. It's not growing as fast as other people's because I had Terrence Gangster Williams on here, right? I gave him his Shahada in USP Mercury, right? And it's a lot of controversy with him on the air. And I find myself, man, protecting him on here on some of the shows. And you know, that's my brother and whatever. And I helped him get his equipment and look at him. But I guess some people want to hear the stories, you know what I'm saying? But now he got 100,000 followers and I helped him start his podcast. You feel me?
Listen, man, I've been on here almost 3 years. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you got 130,000 subscribers." Listen, man, it's hard work, and people
It's
ain't getting
hard work.
rich, man. People ain't, YouTube makes millionaires, but you know what? People like me and you, we're struggling, bro. I'm struggling too, as far as YouTube goes. But the legal work, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
It's good to bring someone like you on because, people that ain't never been there, I know just from talking to you that it's real. I know dudes like you. You know what I mean? I've been in prisons with dudes like you. And I was thinking you were the dude from Lee County, the Muslim brother, but I think he was from New York, where the young New York Spanish kid was beefing with someone, and they got it in, and the Muslim dude like pretty much just, I think he was a big dude, man. He just started stabbing everybody in the unit. At first, I was thinking that's you, but I know who you are though. And maybe we might have been in Big Sandy in the hole at the same time, and you were talking about putting a paralegal company together, maybe.
You might have been there, Chad. That might have been you. You might have been there.
Yes, yes. Were you in the hole in Big Sandy in 2008?
I was in the hole in 2008.
That's you. You were in the cell next door to me. I told you I knew you.
Wait till my wife see this. She gonna go crazy.
And I remember a Muslim brother from Jersey. You were going to put you were talking about doing the legal work when you got out, and I was in the cell next door to you. I know exactly who you are. I was thinking you were the dude from Lee County, but you're not, because that dude was like this big ass dude from New York. That was a dangerous dude. And all them were over there. But you know what, man? I want people to know that you became the change that you sought to see in other people. You weren't the dude that was just going around like, "Yo, I'm about to stab this dude." No. If there was a confrontation, you were like, you weren't turning nothing down. You know what I mean? And you're like, "Yo, what's up?" And there were dudes like that. Like you said, you weren't doing no talking. There were times in my life where, man, I would talk. You know what I mean? I would give a person a way out. If they wanted, I'm gonna give it to you. And
right.
That comes later on. When I first started my bid, obviously not. I could put up all my write-ups in the county. I got them all. But you know what? I wasn't always that dude. But eventually you grow up and you learn. And you say, you know what, man? If it ain't worth killing you over. Cedric Dean told me that. He said, "Yo, man, if it ain't worth killing him over, it ain't worth beefing over." And, and he taught me, man, he told dude, "Yo, pack your bags, man. You ready? We're about to go kill dude." The dude was like, "No. What's up? I thought you wanted to, you don't want to kill him? You're at a FCI, you don't want to kill him?" And dude's like, "No, man." He said, "No, pack your bags. We're going." And he scared him into thinking, "Yo, I'm not really about this shit, man. I'm not about it." Right. The situation, you were a dude that was about it, but you got older, you matured. You wasn't letting nothing slide. You weren't letting no disrespect slide, because that is the penitentiary life. That's the life that you have to live, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is it, man. See, the penitentiary could take a good dude, because I come from humble beginnings. I've been in the street. I got money. I've been accused of doing things, but the things that I was doing in there, I was outside of my body. Like I couldn't even. Prison, man, could take you a good dude, man, and turn them all the way out, man, and you'll never make it out of there, man, for real. Like I thank the law, man, that I'm fortunate enough to be here, to even be on this platform, man, and to even be able to give somebody some advice. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I seek to do, man. I don't want to glorify prison or glorify the streets. I give you a little bit of my story. Yeah, I started off in the streets 12. I bought my first, whatever they call it, brick or whatever, when I was 16. By the time I came to federal prison, I was getting 30 bricks of heroin. Cool. I don't care. All of that stuff brought me heartache, made me miss my kid's life, made me get stabbed, made me almost catch a life sentence, made me spend 2 decades away from my family. And even though the time, somebody asked me, "Yo, you out here, man, you make it look easy. Was it long?" Was it long? It was 20 years, my dude. What you mean, was it long? You know what happened down here in 20 years? You know what happened? I'm going to bus, because I had to go back to the state on a violation when I got my immediate release. I seen a sign change. Them signs that be on the highway, I seen that joint change. And the cop was like, "Yo, you all right?" I said, "Man, hold on. Like, I might be tripping, but I think I seen the sign, the billboard, it changed." They was laughing. I've been in prison 20 years. I ain't seen no stuff like that. And it's just, man, missing out on life, man. It's not worth it, dog. Like, these streets are dead. The game is over. Everybody is telling to sell drugs. You gotta give it to somebody, and nobody's to be trusted. And then they living off the music. If you front them, they running off on the connect. So the game is over. And they run off, you're gonna have to kill them. You wanna go to jail the rest of your life over some dope? It ain't worth it, man.
At the end of the day, it's not worth it. I
It's
know,
not worth it.
you know, like I said, you're living a different life now, though, right? I think you got a little restaurant and you got
Yeah.
your podcast. I want people to listen, man. Anyone that's watching, you want a real raw dude that's been there, that's been through it, man. If you can't tell from this interview, I don't know what to tell you, man. But if you want to, listen to what he's got going on, Concrete Chronicles, like I said earlier, it's going to be up in the description. I mean, this dude, the stories that people tell about prison, this is the guy, in case you're wondering. These are the stories that they're telling about a guy like this. So, I mean, I think his stuff's real and it's raw, and, go check him out. Tell the people what you're doing, man.
So I'm doing the podcast. I'm on Concrete Chronicle podcast on YouTube, Concrete_Chronicle_podcast on IG. My wife, man, she opened up a restaurant. I'm working with her. It's called Fork in the Roll Halal Food in Powder Springs, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And we just trying to do some positive things. We got a food truck ready to come out that she just completed. Got everything redone with that. And I'm just moving in a positive direction, man. I'm speaking to the youth. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting up these posts, man, trying to deter these dudes, man, from these streets, even though you ain't going to be able to save them all. But if I can save just one, man, I feel like I've done my job. You know what I'm saying? I want you to know, man, that these streets, they're definitely dead. You know what I'm saying? Being in prison is corny. The real, what we used to saying there? Squares is winning. If I got to be a square to win, man, I'm going to be a square. But I know who I am and what I'm about. I'm always going to be me. I'm just never going back to the things that I used to do that I thought made me who I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be, I know now, look, I've been tried and tested. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stand on what I stand on, but I am not turning back to nothing that I used to do, because none of that is worth it, man. There's nothing better than for me to try to teach the masses that they don't want to live a lifestyle that you glare, all the cars, the money, the jury, everything is two X's. And if you a real one out there and you've been hearing it all your life, there's two X's of the game. Death in prison, and that's real. Now, I never thought I'd be one sitting in prison no 20 years. I've been in private school. I've been raised by a good mom. But when she fell into whatever she fell into, I thought I was becoming a man to take care of myself and my sister, right? And that led me in the direction of life that I went, right? I'm not ashamed, or I wouldn't take back nothing I did, because I wouldn't be the person I am. Everything I've been through, all my trials and tribulations, made me me, and made me be able to talk to the people about the things that I've been through. You feel me?
I feel you. Listen, Jihad, man, I appreciate you coming on, sharing your story, sharing your experiences. Like I said, you're the dude that other dudes tell stories about. You know what I mean? So people
man,
definitely check you out. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best, man, and keep being, the change that you seek to see in others, because I see that in you.
Big facts.
Definitely a serious dude. Probably one of the best interviews I've ever done.
And man, thank you for that, man, because I've seen your show and I've seen plenty of great interviews.
Listen, man, when you bring a real dude on, that's what it is. You know what I mean? And I've been there a long time, so I know what real dudes are when I run into them. But anyway, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to tell people, if you like what we're doing, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Someone might need to hear this message from Jihad. Load on the Razor Wire TV, Concrete Chronicles. Get with my brother. Subscribe and like his channel. Until tomorrow, we're out.